Salagi. We're the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. We started out at 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commander General Yohana. I'm Officer 5000, Mataza Pa. I will be holding down tonight's class. All right, tonight is the Brotherhood class. So if anybody has any questions, go ahead and type them in the chat. If you want to chime in, go ahead and type it in the chat. If anybody in here wants to, of course, chime in or ask any questions, just raise your hand. All right. And so, I mean, y'all see the title, man. Homosexuality, Emasculation, and Meek Mill. You know, how does it all fit together? All right, y'all ride with me and you'll see. All right, so the first scripture that I want to even start off with, right, is the one I want in I believe that's Ecclesiasticus, right? And it's license to sin. Yeah, that's what I need. I need license to sin. License to sin, that's what I need. Where I got that at? License to sin. All right. Give me 1 second. You know which one I'm talking about? I got you. I got you. Y'all bear with me. Hey, shalom to everybody that's in the chat too, man. All right, here we go. It is going to be actually Wisdom of Solomon, Ecclesiasticus. Oh yeah, same thing. Ecclesiasticus 15 and 20. Ecclesiasticus, that's where we going at, y'all. That's where we going at. Right, because it's one thing that we need to understand about homosexuality, all right? Something that the Christian church isn't teaching, something that America isn't teaching, right? Because we all know when we read in the scripture, it says that a man shall not lie with another man, right? And a woman shall not lie with a woman. We all understand that. It just goes against the natural order of things. A man cannot stick his rod into another man and have a baby. And a woman, vice versa, cannot do that. Regardless of science and how science is able to try to manipulate things, doesn't mean that it makes things like the things that go against the law okay. All right. So Ecclesiasticus 15 and 20 says,
I got it, sir. This is the book of
start at 17 if you would.
This is the book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 15, verse 17.
Mm-hmm.
Before man is life and death, and whether him liketh shall be given him. Right.
Where did we hear this? Where have we heard these words before?
In the it's Moses.
Right. Moses, exact same words, right? So we see that the Bible, when you read in the Bible, like Captain Tazariak always says, and he always echoes the words of General Mahyman when he says that the Bible is like a river. You see what I'm saying? It has a flow to it.
Damn right.
And you'll see the prophets of old said one thing, and the prophets that came after them said the same exact thing. Nobody changed up the doctrine. Nobody tried to water it down to be, to accept everybody or anything like that. Everybody, this is what it is. The Lord said this is what it is. Our forefathers died because of this, that, the third, or we prospered because this, that, and the third, right? So what Ecclesiasticus is saying, what Wisdom of Solomon is saying is, Ecclesiasticus, what Ecclesiasticus is saying is, before man is set, life and death, right? So you have the option to choose whether you want to sin against the Lord and die, or serve the Lord and live, right?
Right.
But however, there is no option. I mean, you could, that's all you're allowed to do is just serve the Lord, man. Other than that, you're just gonna die. Right. Other than that, there is no other happiness. There is no other peace. You either serve the Lord and die, man. I mean, you either serve the Lord and live, or you don't. And we all know what the consequences are of not listening. I mean, we see the condition that we live in now, right? We look at the plight of Black people and we see that this is the result of death. Okay, read on.
Verse 18.
Oh, I'm sorry. It says, and whether him liketh shall be given to him. So if you want life and you show the Most High that you want life, that's what you're going to get. But if you show the Most High that you want death, then of course you can get your issue. All right. Verse 18.
Verse 18. For the wisdom of the Lord is great, and he is mighty in power, and beholdeth all things.
Right. So we understand that what it says, what the scripture say, the beginning of all, I think it even says that in like Proverbs or something like that. You like the beginning of wisdom is you know what I'm talking about, man. The beginning of all wisdom is the fear of the Lord, or something like that. You know what I mean? And I'm paraphrasing, of course, but we all understand that that's the beginning of you gaining knowledge. Right, is first you have to fear the Lord, and then you can understand like the things that we say in here. But if you don't fear the Lord, then you're gonna read the Bible and think that you, like a Christian, have a way out. So now I have a way to eat pork, or I have a way to molest children, or I have a way to sleep with a brother's rib, because that's what they choose. And also it says, and beholdeth all things. Of course, we know that the scripture said the Lord's eyes are 10,000 times brighter than the sun. So of course he can see everything. Even when you think you sitting and nobody's with you and nobody's looking, and you look to the left and you look to the right, and it ain't nobody but you. And you feel like you can do whatever you want to do. But guess what? The Lord is watching.
Damn right.
Hence the scripture saying, behold, the Lord beholdeth all things. All right. So verse 19.
Verse 19. And his eyes are upon them that fear him, and he knoweth every work of man. Right.
He knoweth every work of man. So he understands, he knows what we're doing. Whether you think he know that he sees you or whatever, he does. All right. So, you ever hear that term, what's happening in the dark comes to light, right? Because the Lord sees you, man. Right. And the one time you think you're doing something in the dark, you look to the left, you look to the right, you don't see nobody. The Lord will have somebody there. You won't even know that. You know what I mean? You be thinking that you doing something, and guess what? Somebody done seen you. Right. A crackhead, anybody, a little kid, somebody done seen you. And then guess what? You think you done did your deed in the dark, and then somehow it get out. Right. Somehow, hey, you seen such and such over there doing such and such and such and such, and you like, wow, man, god damn, you know what I mean? And now your dirty little secret has been exposed. Right. All right.
So if I may, I've been ever since Cap brought up about that King. he said he was watching the King Von documentary. So I've been kind of like enthralled in this Chicago beef. And the main thing that they talking about is the they're known for the backdooring people, getting. They think they're getting with a chick, and the chick is with the ops, or so have you. she's setting them up the whole time.
She's setting them up the whole time.
That's like they think they being slick, but
Yeah.
somebody sees them. You know what I mean? But somebody's lining them up the whole time.
Lining you up the whole time.
Right.
That's what she's doing. Lining you up. And how do I know? Because I've had girls when I was in the world, and they was willing to set people up for me.
Right.
They was willing to go to the club and get your stupid drunk behind to go back to the room, and then however they, unlock the door or come and just open the door up for you. And then now I'm hitting the lick.
Right.
You understand that? I mean, but guess what? I seen the other side of it too, Mataziala. I seen the other side where it was a sister that was here, right? Sister that was here. And, we was cool. And I didn't know this is what she was doing. I didn't know that's what she was doing. She was playing that crazy game of setting people up. So she had got with some Philly boys. Now, mind you, she from here. She from Wilmington, right? She didn't got with the Philly boys. The Philly boys then amped her up to think that, you know what I mean? We love you, and they just a different breed of dude. And you know how out of towners come, and you know how people from in town act when out of towners come, and show them some attention. And so we see her riding around. I remember it like it was yesterday. I see her riding around, with these Philly plates, and she's riding around with these dudes, right? So they met one of the drug dealers here. And what they did was they said, hey, we want X amount of drugs. Guy goes, and it was a big time dude at that time. You know what I mean? Somebody that was known here and still is. And so, they befriend him, or not befriend him, but they make him think that, they got some bread and they trying to buy some work. And so he goes and he gets to work. Well, he comes back and they do the deal in the girl's house. The dudes from Philly kill him. They kill him, right? They beat him up, killed him, put him in the trunk, drove him up to Philly, and he was left in his trunk. They found him up in Pennsylvania in his rental car trunk. So how they even found out, how the news people and the police even found out that guy because that was on a separate news, like a news story. The guy found in his trunk, yada, yada. How they found out that his death, and I'm going to get to it, her death was together because the guys apparently told her and her friend, come up here and get a piece of that bread. You feel me? Come on, come get a piece of that bread and we're going to break you off a little something. She goes up there, right? So she must get close to where they, know where she's at, which way she's coming, because they jumped out of a alley by a stop sign, ambushed her and her girl, killed both of them. Somebody's calling me, hey man, she up there, at the stop sign. They still up there, you know what I mean? And the car dead. This girl got 4 or 5 kids. She didn't play the dirty game and got herself killed. And you know what I mean? Play the dirty game, got yourself killed. And it was by the people that you trusted. The ones that you thought that had your back, the ones that you setting up these people for them. And because they don't want to cut ties, because they want to cut ties with you, they think that you're the weak link, that you can, link them to this murder, off with your head. And that's the dirty game. That's a dirty game that they playing out there, Mataziala. It ain't nothing nice with that. And 1 minute you here, 1 minute you gone. And now your kids, now who's going to explain that to your kids? That you was out here being a dirtbag. Right. You see what I'm saying? And the next verse is going to tie into it, right? Because we all think that we have this license, and this license that we have, we really don't have. Go ahead.
This is Ecclesiastes chapter 15, verse 20.
Mm-hmm.
He hath commanded no man to do wickedly.
Right. He has the Lord has commanded no man to do wickedly. Understand what I just said. The Lord has commanded no man to do wickedly. However, no matter how the Christian church tries to teach a black man that the laws of God is done away with, right, and that Now you have this license. Now you're being commanded to do wickedly. Now you're being commanded to do sin, right? Because if he's telling you that sinning is not wrong and that sinning is okay, what Creflo Dollar said, the devil Satan trying to get you to follow the laws. I said, nigga, let me turn this goddamn TV screen off for my TV get struck by lightning. Hey, let me turn this goddamn TV screen off. Boy, this dude tripping. He is tripping. He said that Satan is trying to get you to keep the laws. No, do not listen to that. If you can hear my voice and you are in the Christian church, run away from the Christian church ASAP. Run. Do not go back. Do not take your kids. Do not take your family members, and warn them. Warn them about the possibilities of church and what can happen in church. They're telling you that you do not have to follow the laws of God, right?
Right.
And the scripture right here is saying, he, who is the Lord, man, have commanded no man to do wickedly. That's what the brother just read.
Right.
Read on.
Neither hath he given any man license to sin.
So if the Lord ain't giving you a license to sin, what makes you think I'm going to listen to some stinking money-grubbing pastor when he tries to give you a license? You know what I'm saying? He trying to give you, hey, he ain't even authorized to give licenses. I thought you had to go down to the DMV, Mataziala. I thought they're the only one that give licenses, or the board of nursing. They can give licenses to new nurses. I'm about to go through them to get a license, right? Or electricity, or what you do, barbering, or you know what I mean? You had to go somewhere to get that license.
I had to go in front of the board.
Right, you had to go before the board to get that license. Now the Christian church is giving out licenses. You know what I'm saying? Now the Christian church is giving out licenses. Oh wait, they just gonna start. They're gonna start giving you a little ID card with your face on it too. It's gonna have your face. They're gonna make it nice and pretty for you. And you know what it's gonna say? License to sin.
Right.
That's what their license is gonna say. License to sin. However, the Bible says the Lord gave no man, none, a license to sin. Right. And that's what's going on in America right now. It is so rampant with sin. I mean, goddamn, if they pass any more laws on homosexuality, brother, I mean, it's going to be a law to give up your kid. It's going to be a law that thou must give up your kid in America to the homosexuals, right? And we're going to read I forgot what the guy's name is, right? What's the name of this guy right here?
On the article?
Yeah, this article.
Steve Baldwin.
Okay, so it's a guy named, that no relation to Alec Baldwin. Right? The guy's name is Steve Baldwin, right? And so he wrote, like, you know how people can write like a piece for what do they call them? It'd be like how I got right here, right? And it'd be like different volumes. It'd be like different volumes of a specific like magazine or some type of it would be more like a magazine or a periodical or something like that. And then you know how they'll have like certain people write an article or write something that goes in this periodical that all of us, like I might get pages 21 to 27 and on this specific subject. This person might get this on this specific subject or something like that. But all of our writings are in a specific, all of our writings are in this one volume or this one article. You understand what I'm saying? I'm trying to explain it because I don't have the actual, I'm trying to think of the actual book that I got it out of, but they can read it. All you have to do is, the name is Steve Baldwin, and the title is what?
The title is Child Molestation and the Homosexual Movement.
Child Molestation and the Homosexual Movement. Now, before I even, have the brother start reading, in the ISUBK, we understand that homosexuality, when we're dealing with the homosexual movement, right? We understand in the school, and this is something that we teach, right? Or that we have said. The only way for more homosexuals because they can't procreate. right? So if they can't procreate, then homosexuality should die out. But how does homosexuality continue to proliferate? It's able to continue to keep going because homosexual people molest kids. Homosexual people make more homosexual people by molesting your kids. That's what they do. And it's a fact. No matter how much people try to get mad at the issue, that's what happens. Homosexual people molest kids, and those kids in return turn into homosexuals. And then that's how the community is able to keep going. For the life of me, you ever seen one of them homosexual day parade marches and all that, and they have the kid right there front center? They have the kid right there front and center while this dude is prancing up and down the goddamn street like the abomination that he is. And because we speak up and say something about it, it's a problem. We're a hate group. They hate everything. You know what I mean? But when one of their peers say it, stuff like this flies under the radar, and you'll never find these types of articles. So we're going to start off with this article straight from the beginning. All right, you got it, Mataziala.
This is the article, Child Molestation and the Homosexual Movement by Steve Baldwin. Lately, the gay movement seems to be making large gains in its war on America's Judeo-Christian culture.
Right. So they're saying, when they say Judeo-Christian, they're talking about so-called Jewish people and Christians. Go ahead.
Gay characters have become the norm on sitcoms.
Right, and gay characters, we all know, when you turn on a sitcom, you turn on some type of even kids or any kids show that a kid will watch, they always have some type of homosexual character. And not only do they have a homosexual character, a lot of times everything is centered around that person, meaning like the homosexual is usually the cool person, the person that everybody goes to. He got the most lines on the show, and he got the most witty lines on the show and everything like that. Right? Go ahead.
It has become fashionable to attack the Boy Scouts. The Boy Scouts.
Right. So what you're going to see is there was a report that a lot of the homosexuality that happens to little kids that's in the Boy Scouts. Right. I mean, anybody. I know you've heard about that once or twice in your lifetime, Ms. Aziala, about Boy Scouts being molested. Right. That's nothing that nobody has never heard before. But the part that we don't hear, we've heard about that, but the part that we don't hear is the part from homosexual organizations that try to create backlash to the Boy Scouts for speaking out on homosexuality. Right? When the Boy Scouts start speaking out against homosexuality, then you have these groups that go and try to write letters to the Boy Scouts condemning the Boy Scouts for speaking out against people who enjoy boys. Right? So now these groups are becoming advocates for men who like boys, men who like to have sex with boys, men who like to look at boys, men who like to touch boys. Now we have advocates out here who say this is a lifestyle that they like to live. Who are you to say that they're wrong for liking what they like? The same way you like what you like. Okay, go ahead.
Homosexual propaganda inundates many of our public schools.
Right. Homosexual propaganda. You have the transsexuals coming in reading to, your kids now. Your kids got to learn from a man, a 6'6" man in a damn dress. And he has to sit there and listen and have story time.
Right.
And the kid is being made to believe that everything else in life is wrong, but somehow this man in this dress with makeup on is right, and that's not wrong, right? That's it's crazy, like programming here, right? Go ahead.
Sir. Nearly all the mainstream religious denominations have revised their understanding of biblical teaching concerning homosexuality.
Now, what Christianity say? Not Creflo Dollar. What's the other Negro? What's the other step is such a Negro? TD Jakes. He said the church is moving in a new direction. What the Osteen do? The church is moving in a new direction. We know that homosexuality, we know what the Bible says on homosexuality. However, and this is dog whistle, they can't push that homosexuality is wrong. Why? Because the church is filled with homosexuals. If they start to push that homosexuality is wrong and that the Lord is unhappy with homosexuals, so therefore I should not accept homosexuals, then 3/4, if not 4/4 of the church will get up and walk out, right? Meaning everybody. All right. Another way that you know that homosexuality is prevalent in, just the church is when you see, like, okay, when I'm looking in my nursing books and I see that straight Black women are getting HIV at a exponential rate. What is the explanation for a straight Black woman to get HIV and AIDS the way they're getting HIV and AIDS? The only way that they're getting it is because of down low men that they are sleeping with, that they have in their bed, that they call their husbands, that they call their boyfriends. And these dudes are, the majority of Black women, I mean, let's just face it, the majority of the Black community is Christian. Is Christian. So these Christian women are going to these churches and they're dealing with guys that are having homosexual sex. And these guys are spreading HIV to these heterosexual or straight women. And it was crazy when I read it. But anyway, you can keep going.
And the gay rights legislative agenda is succeeding beyond the advocates' wildest imaginations.
Right. The gay rights advocates are succeeding, but beyond their wildest imaginations even. Right. They never thought that they would be able to push homosexuality as far as they've been able to push it and really have no real pushback.
Right.
No real pushback. Nobody is pushing back saying, hell, what the hell is going on here?
Right.
No, this is unacceptable. This is unacceptable. Instead of getting that pushback, they're getting welcomed with open arms. Even you got straight Black men, 6'5", 6'6", accepting this nonsense, man. To where we'll allow our own sons to come in the goddamn house and say he wants to be a woman.
Right.
And you allow this nigga.
Right. It's like, if I may.
Yeah, go ahead.
It's so bad that it's like you just said, you can't speak against them. They have advocates that advocate for them, but they have turned it around. Whereas though you're the bad guy, if you're not okay with it, if you speak against it, you're the bad guy. Something's wrong with you. You're not normal, or whatnot. The Bible says the world is out of course. Everything is out of course.
Man, look,
and that's Bible.
Man, what else it say? That's a great scripture too. But what else it say? When the wicked bear fruit, the earth mourns. Man, the earth is mourning right now.
Damn right.
Earth is mourning. You can't, You can't do anything right now. Everything is out of whack. Everything is out of order. Just like you just said, everything is the earth is out of order. What was that last part?
It says, and the gay rights legislative agenda is succeeding beyond the advocates' wildest imaginations.
Right. Nobody thought that homosexuality would be able to be okay the way it is. Like, you cannot, the same way, okay, I'm going to show you how it's programming, right? You see how they try to program us with the interracial marriages, and, you know, they always put it in our faces, right? So you can't watch a commercial without it being like a white man and a black woman. You will not watch a commercial and mix kids. You will not watch a commercial without it being a black man with a white woman.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? And mixed kids, right? That's programming. Now you cannot watch anything without seeing two people of the same sex kissing.
Right.
And showing their love and affection. And I'm sitting there like, why is the hell is this on my TV screen? Why am I watching my TV screen, right? I got a TV screen through, no, not through, but my cable. Okay, my cable, you know, if you don't watch the TV for a hot second, it goes to like the screensaver. So it goes to the screensaver, and then it starts showing you like new movies that's out and all that kind of stuff. You know what I'm talking about. Why am I seeing RuPaul pop up again across my screen? Holding hands with a little kid. It's a movie or something. Like they just advertised of RuPaul holding the hands of a little boy. The little boy is probably 8 to 10 or 11 years old. Young Caucasian kid. What the hell is going on here? And why is he holding the hands of this little boy? That is, you see what I'm saying? That's crazy. That's crazy. We should not see that.
Right.
But it's programming nonetheless. It's programming nonetheless. All right, read on.
And yet the destructive impact homosexuality has upon
what kind of impact?
The destructive
What kind of impact?
The destructive impact.
This is what Stephen Baldwin is saying, that homosexuality has a destructive impact on what? Read on.
Has upon Western civilization.
Western civilization is over here.
Right.
Right. The East is over there, like what they would call the Middle East. If you look, you know, that's East on the map. This is West. So when they say Western civilization, they saying everything that's over here, like, you know, Mexico, America, Canada, all that is Western civilization. Go ahead, Salaki.
And yet the destructive impact homosexuality has upon Western civilization is rarely discussed by columnists.
Right. It's rarely discussed. It's having a bad effect on this civilization over here, but it's rarely discussed. And one thing that he understands is all these great nations that came before, or so-called great nations that came before, when sexual deviation and all that stuff starts to creep into society, that's when the society falls.
Right.
That's when it falls, right? Because there is no moral compass or anything governing this society, and it's just bound to fall. If everybody is just out of order, everybody's chaotic. You got some people, you know, they legalizing drugs. So if you want to do drugs, you can do drugs. If you want to have sex with kids and all that kind of stuff, yeah, go have at it. If you want to, hence Jeffrey Epstein and that secret island that all these politicians and everybody was going to, right. even these elite rappers and singers and all that kind of stuff that everybody loves. They go on here and they molesting your kids, right? That's what's going on in there. Okay, read on.
It's rarely discussed by columnists, reporters, religious leaders, politicians, or by anyone else for that matter.
But it's being reported here.
Damn right.
Right, it's being reported here. How many times have we talked about the CIA and that ring that they busted up with them kids, and how they was able to sell kids. You could actually it was like a catalog. It was like a catalog. Dude would come up to you. He had a catalog, right? He had a catalog, and you was able to pick out which kid you wanted. You was able to pick out what kid you wanted, and the guy would go to the park, whatever park he used to seeing this kid at. He would go and steal you, and guess what? Now your face is on the milk carton. That's what we got here. It's one of these books that we got down here. It was a pedophile ring that was busted by the CIA, but it implicated like the government, of course, players in the government. We all know that the Pentagon, y'all can look this up too, man. Y'all don't take my word for anything. Go ahead and look this stuff up. The Pentagon, it was over thousands. I'm gonna say thousands because I think it was like 5,000. The number that I remember in my head was about 5,000, but it was thousands, hundreds of people in the Pentagon who got caught with child pornography on their computers, man. Child pornography on their computers at work. God damn, what the hell now you at work looking at kids, trying to find, whatever you can find on the internet, being a sexual deviant while you supposed to you supposed to run the country, right? That's what they doing in the Pentagon. Right. Security for the company. Security for the country. They running the country. They're supposed to be protecting the American people, and what are they doing? Beating off the little kids at work. It's goddamn. You at work. So you know that this is a culture. This is a culture that's not being spoke about. Right. You see what I'm saying? The upper echelons, they know about this culture. The same way we have a culture here. Right. In this school, their school has a culture. Right. Their place of business this is our place of business. Their place of business has a culture. Yeah. And that culture is child molestation, homosexuality, child pornography. You got it.
Even some conservative publications choose to ignore the issue and instead have published articles arguing for greater tolerance of the gay lifestyle. Right.
Aren't this what you said, more conservatives? That would be like your Republicans, right? Or your upper echelon, like Democrats, conservative Democrats, or conservatives, just the name conservatives would be your Republicans. Like even these so-called conservatives who pro-life, right, against abortion, all that. You know what I mean? How Republicans try to be like anti-liberal, right? Democrats, you can do whatever the hell you want. Republicans, anti-liberal. They're supposed to be for family values and all that kind of stuff. But for these people who's supposed to be so much for family values and so much for the family and against liberalism, you don't hear them speaking out against homosexuality or, the things that's going on, right? Read on.
Read on, sir?
Yeah, you got it.
Indeed, on the homosexual issue, conservatives seem divided between a live and let live attitude and one that concludes that the homosexual agenda will have to be curtailed if the Judeo-Christian culture is to survive.
You got it.
However, overwhelming evidence supports the belief that homosexuality is a sexual deviancy.
Hey, it said overwhelming.
Right.
What was it? Let me not get it. Let me get it right. What did you say? Could you repeat that?
However, overwhelming evidence supports.
Evidence supports. So you know what evidence is? In my nursing, right? In order for me to make a nursing diagnosis, I have to go to evidence-based practice. I have to practice looking in the books and finding evidence based on like whatever I'm trying to do. I have to find something that it's based on. Something that like is proven that this is going to work. Right? Evidence-based practice. And what they're saying is evidence shows that homosexuality is a deviancy. So then that means there's somewhere where this is saying that this is a deviancy. Okay. Right? And if I'm not mistaken, they just took it out But the DSM-5 used to have homosexuality in there as a mental disorder, and we all know it's a mental disorder. A man it goes against everything. It goes against everything. It's a mental disorder. Clearly, is a mental disorder for a man to prance around the goddamn room like a woman. And come on, man. And like when I'm at the hospital, that's all you see. That's all you see. Literally, that's all you see is men acting like women and women trying to be men. Because it doesn't stop with men trying to be women. You also see a high influx of women trying to be what they would call butch, trying to be men. Right. You know what I'm saying? You see a lot of that. The last job I used to work at, the girl used to come around and the girl used to wear the joint. I'm sitting there like, this is crazy. This is crazy right here. And one of the dudes that I was cool with, I used to call him Els, right? I don't need to say his real name, but my boy Els, right? He was like, "Yo, let me touch your butt or something." Like, he was like, talking to the butch. I was like, "Yeah, that's what I'm talking about." Yeah, treat her like the woman she is. You know what I mean? I was laughing because it was funny to see somebody in the world do it. You know what I mean? And then what the butch said? What the butch said to him? I almost forgot. You know what the butch said? "Go ahead with that stuff, man. You all gay."
Oh, snap.
She was like, "Yo, man, go ahead with that." She was like, "Go ahead with that shit, man. You all gay, man. Like, go ahead with that gay shit." You know what I mean? And I'm sitting there like, "Oh, this is crazy." Yo, in my head, I was crying. I was dying. He made a pass at the woman. At the woman,
right?
And the woman said, "Go ahead with that gay shit." I was in my head. I was crying. I was, I was laughing because he did it. You know what I mean? Because usually people won't do that kind of stuff. Like people in the world generally won't do that kind of stuff because they're too accepting and too, you know what I mean? Don't want to piss anybody off, so they wouldn't do nothing like that. But I was laughing that he did it. All right, we can keep going.
Khan. It says, however, overwhelming evidence supports the belief that homosexuality is a sexual deviancy, often accompanied by disorders that have dire consequences for our culture.
Mm-hmm.
A vast amount of data demonstrating the deviant nature of the gay lifestyle is ignored by the media, as well as the leadership of the psychological, psychiatric, and medical professionals.
Right, the deviant lifestyle of these people are being ignored by everybody. Their lifestyle, because mind you, I'll tell you about the twin cousins that I had. Both did. The lifestyle that they had was a lifestyle of deviancy. They went to drink all the time. They would always get high. They would always be drunk. And they would always be in them gay clubs, and they would always have random men around them. And this always translated into fights. And some guy was standing in my house over top of me with he didn't broke in my house. And he's, you know what I mean? Like all this kind of stuff that they used to go through. You know what I mean? I'd be like, God damn, that's horrible. What the hell? I had to grab a sword, or the guy had a sword, or he's standing. Oh yeah. I mean, it's a deviant lifestyle, but it's a deviant lifestyle that nobody wants to talk about.
Right.
Why is it like that's the elephant in the room? We all understand that there's something wrong, but nobody wants. It's like it's forbidden.
Taboo.
Yeah, taboo. It's it's like the forbidden fruit. Like, don't touch that. Don't even consider that. Don't just leave it alone. Like, and that's a problem. That's a problem when a straight black man can't speak out about issues that may affect his family. I got one. Issues that may affect his family. Because pretty soon, now this straight black man, or this straight man period for that matter, may not be able to speak up and do anything when it comes to when they pass the bill that the homosexual can have his kid. You know what I mean? Because you think it ain't coming. It's coming. They're going to pass a law that makes it okay for a man to sleep with a boy.
Right.
And that boy could be your son. And you could not be, and if they pass a law that's okay, guess what? Guess what happens if you step in and say this is wrong and you bash him in the head?
You get in trouble.
You going to jail.
Right.
You going to jail.
If I may, it's like they're going out their way to really make this spiritual Sodom.
I mean, it is. And and that's a great point that you're making, that the Bible already said that this what this place is.
Damn right.
It already spoke on this place.
Damn right.
And all this place is doing is what they say.
The Bible truth.
That's it. Helping us understand that everything that we reading is true.
Damn right.
That's all it's doing. Damn right. You got it.
Comic-Con, sir.
It's a little bit material. I think it's like 2 or 3 pages I'm trying to read.
Comic-Con, sir.
And I definitely want to show that Meek Mill's. He's going to be the emasculation part.
Sir.
All right.
It is difficult to convey the dark side of the homosexual culture without appearing harsh.
Right. If you talk about the dark side of the homosexual culture, then now you appear harsh. And you're the bad guy when you speak of or speak on the dark side of their lifestyle. You got it.
However, it is time to acknowledge that homosexual behavior threatens the foundation of Western civilization.
That's what it does. It threatens civilization. It doesn't, and I'm gonna go as far as to say any civilization, not just Western civilization, any civilization. Right.
It was just a little bit more. It says the foundations of Western civilization, the nuclear family. Then it's superior.
The nuclear family. Right. And what was Black Lives Matter against?
It was against the nuclear family.
Against the nuclear family.
Sir.
Against the nuclear family. So, we're against anything that's against the black family. We're trying to put the black family together. This school is putting the black family back together. How many times have Commander General Yohanna said a black man is needed in every black household?
Damn right.
We advocate for a black man to be with a black woman. And when I say black, I'm encompassing, Hispanics and Native American Indians, of course. Y'all already know this, man. All right. So, could you read that last part one more time?
Sir. However, it is time to acknowledge that homosexual behavior threatens the foundation of Western civilization, the nuclear family.
Right. It threatens. It threatens everything that goes. Okay. This is supposed to be a heterosexual nation and everything like that. That homosexuality goes against that. Right. Read on.
An unmistakable manifestation of the attack on the family unit is the homosexual community's efforts to target children both for their own sexual desire and to enlarge the homosexual movement.
Man, look, I don't think everybody heard what you just said. So what we're going to do is we're going to bullet.
Rewind.
Rewind. You know how they do. When you're in the club. Man, I know it's been a while since we've been in there, Mataji Island. We like the older niggas here in Delaware, man. I'm in school. I don't get to do nothing. I go to school and go to sleep. But I remember when I was in the club and they used to be like, rewind when something was good. And it's time to bring it back.
Pull it.
It's time to bring it back. And that's what we're about to do. We're about to bring that back, man.
Sir.
If I may.
Damn right. An unmistakable manifestation of the attack on the family unit is the homosexual community's efforts.
That's the attack on the attack on straight families is their movement to do what?
is the homosexual community's efforts to target children.
Right?
Both for their own sexual pleasure and to enlarge the homosexual movement.
Right. So they push the whole homosexual thing. Why? So that now you can accept homosexuality. If now you can accept homosexuality, they can use your kids to make more gay kids or more gay people.
Right.
Right. Not only do they use your kids for their own sexual gratification, they use your kids to build the homosexual population, because 90% of the people who are homosexuals have been molested, whether they want to acknowledge it or not. It's a report that came out. We can get into the report a whole nother time. But 90% of the people who claim to be gay have been molested. And what it is because that situation was so traumatic, they try to push it to the back of your goddamn brain, and you don't think that's the reason for you being the way that you are. So you'll come up with every excuse in the book. It's God's fault. It's everybody's fault. Right. I was born this way. Right. All this kind of stuff like that. Oh, I just love it. Yeah, I just woke up and I just love Rod. Yeah. No, it's like that because of this traumatic situation that you don't want to relive. However, it is important for you to talk about that situation and to kind of relive that situation so that you can get over the situation.
Right.
And not have all the mental illness that goes with it. All right, go ahead.
Right. The homosexual community and its allies in the media scoff at this argument.
Go ahead.
They insist it is merely a tactic to demonize the homosexual movement.
Right. So when we speak out about it, it's just we're just demonizing the homosexual movement. When we speak out about it and we say, God said this, I'm repeating what God said.
Right.
When I say that, oh, they hate everybody. See that? See, they hate it. But this is supposed to be a Christian nation. We reading from the same book you stupid dummies is reading from. But we're the hate group because we don't choose to bend any rules with the Lord. We don't choose to bend or fold or anything like that, because we choose to actually do what he says to do. Now we're the problem, because we're not accepting everything that goes against the Lord. Right? Go ahead.
Oh my God. After all, they argue, heterosexual molestation is a far more serious problem. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, the truth is stranger than fiction.
The truth is what? Stranger than fiction.
It's stranger than fiction.
Uh-huh.
Research confirms.
And this, what you say? Research confirms. Go ahead.
That homosexuals molest children at a rate vastly higher than heterosexuals.
Right. So what they're saying is, yeah, heterosexual people molest kids. We know that. But when you start to dig down into the whole situation, most of the people that are molesting those kids are homosexual at nature. You see what I'm saying? Even though we know that heterosexual people are molesting kids, the majority of the kids being molested is by someone that's gay.
Right.
Is by a homosexual. Go ahead.
Khan. And the mainstream homosexual culture commonly promotes sex with children.
And the mainstream culture, y'all remember that video? Sometimes here in this school, we be a little too ahead of our time. This had to be about 5 years ago. Remember, I was showing a documentary that I got in my laptop is a documentary called Chicken Hawk. And the documentary follows this guy and a couple kids, and it shows how the guy is actually how he talks about kids, how he thinks about kids, how he would even sit at the ice cream parlor and say, like, if he made conversation with a kid, right, he would be like, he was totally, nice, and like the kid was open to him. If the kid didn't outright say that, get the hell out of my face. He literally, if the kid was nice to him, he thought that the kid wanted the homosexual sex just as much as he did because the kid was nice. And really, the kid is just being a goddamn kid. The kid don't know no better. They was all sitting at a damn ice cream parlor. What the hell is you doing at this ice cream parlor where kids is at? The kid is just being nice. You come up and say something to him. He just said something. Hey, what's up? Yeah, all right, yeah. And the kid just kept on about his business. But in this dude's head, in this Edomite's head, he thought the kid wanted him. I'm looking at it and I'm just like, yo, this is just horrible. Right? This is just very horrible. The culture of Edomites in America. Right? The culture of Edomites in America is going to be the death and destruction of niggas in America because niggas always want to follow Edomite culture.
Right.
And we always follow Edomite culture to our destruction, man. To our death and destruction. Read on.
Khan. Homosexual leaders repeatedly argue for the freedom to engage in consensual sex with children.
Why would you want to argue that? Why would that even be something that you feel comfortable being on the mainstream arguing for, like, that to be something that you want to be acceptable? And it's going to go and start to name some of these groups. All right, go ahead.
Khan. And blind surveys reveal a shockingly high number of homosexuals admit to sexual contact with minors.
Right. And so these surveys that they put out, you seeing that these homosexuals is probably anonymous. Of course, they create these surveys and they're anonymous. They have to be anonymous, or there should be a lot of people that should be locked the hell up right now. That ain't. But the survey reveals that a lot of homosexual people have had some type of contact with underage kids. And you see how if it was like something to do with black people, they would have used that survey to lock niggas up.
Right.
But somehow these homosexuals that, pedophiles that molest kids are able to fly under the radar. Just answer a little questionnaire and you don't, it's not going to be any, penalties behind it or anything. We just want your honest to truth answers. That's crazy. Right? Read on.
Khan. Indeed, the homosexual community is driving the worldwide campaign to lower the legal age of consent.
I mean, goddamn, how low do they want it to be? They want to do it to the baby while the baby in the mom's womb.
Right.
Hey, they just want kids. Like how, like the age of consent is something around like 17, right?
It differs in different states.
It's different in different states. I know it's low. Right. And in some states it's way too goddamn low. So in some states it's 16. A girl could be 16 years old and be with this damn grown-up.
Right.
Or this grown-up could be, let me say this grown-up could be with this 16-year-old because the 16-year-old don't know what the hell is going on.
Right.
You cannot tell me that a little girl, don't matter how provocative she may dress or what the hell she watches on TV, you can't tell me that her brain is developed enough to know what the hell is going on. Now, she may know what's going on, but she don't know what's going on. She's not ready for the manipulative behavior of an adult. You know what I mean? There's a lot of people out here that's very, very good at manipulation. It makes you think a kid is going to be able to combat that. All right, you got it.
Sir. This trend comes at the expense of our children's safety.
Right. This trend of these people advocating for homosexuality comes at the expense of my child and your child, right? Our children. Go ahead.
Khan. The incident in Los Angeles involving group homes operated by the Gay and Lesbian Adolescent Social Services it's GLASS. It's an acronym.
Well, what was it? GLASS, right?
GLASS.
GLASS. This was a group that was, what was it? Say that one more time.
The Gay and Lesbian Adolescent Social Services.
So it's social services, but it's ran by homosexuals and lesbians. Read on.
Comic-Con. GLASS exemplifies this danger.
Mm-hmm.
GLASS receives taxpayer monies.
What do they receive?
Taxpayer monies.
That's where your money is going to.
Right.
That tax that you coming out, ooh-wee. You see all that hard-earned money come out your check every week or every 2 weeks. Guess where it's going at? It's going to places like GLASS.
GLASS.
And GLASS is a homosexual, lesbian. What was the term? Social services. Social services place, right? For your kids. And this is where your tax money is going, right? You have no say so. Your tax money is going to homosexuals, lesbians, war. Your money going to everything you don't want it to go to.
Right.
Go ahead.
Comic-Con. GLASS receive taxpayer monies to take in troubled youth.
So they take in these troubled youth. Go ahead.
Referred to them by the social service departments of various southern counties in California.
Right. So you just like the brother here. We have a brother here, right? Isaiah Warhood, that's able to take in troubled kids because he has a foster home. Now, they take in troubled kids that's referred to them by, the city, the state, whoever. Read on.
Comic-Con. GLASS's own website should have been warning enough.
Mm-hmm.
GLASS believes that some children are born gay.
How the hell are you born gay? So then, okay. And so what people don't understand is, in order for somebody to make that statement, without them saying this is what they're saying, that God makes mistakes. Mm-hmm. God knew what he was doing when he gave you the rod.
Right. Damn right.
He knew what he was doing when he didn't give you a rod. However, you're telling me that he made a mistake. That when I look down and I see this rod, that it was a malfunction.
Right.
It was a malfunction on the assembly line. You know what I mean? It's a malfunction on the assembly line, and they actually put a penis there, and the penis wasn't supposed to go there. And then, however, I'm born, and then now I'm born with a penis, but I was supposed to have a vagina because they messed up on the assembly line. This is what the hell you're trying to make me believe.
Right.
This is crazy. Right? This is crazy, and this behavior, it goes unchecked. This is why we're reading it. Go ahead.
Comic-Con.
It's not going to go unchecked. This is why we're reading it. Go ahead.
Comic-Con. And it says in parentheses,
mm-hmm.
a view not backed by any science.
Right. A view backed by
it's not backed.
It's not backed by any science.
By any science.
Any scientist knows that it's two genders, male and female.
Right.
Male, what he said, male may he them, women may he,
female may he them.
Yeah, he them. Man and women, y'all know what the hell I'm saying.
God,
you know what the hell I'm saying.
Right,
the Bible specifically says that there are two genders, male and female. There is no in between.
That's right.
No in between. You got it.
Comic-Con. And announced that they target youth who are confused about their sexual identities.
Right. And so with all the stuff that's going on, these children are confused. These children are so goddamn confused. They don't, with all the stuff that they're saying on TV and everything like that. And so what do these organizations do? They prey on those people who are confused, who don't know any better, who's still trying to figure themselves out. And so what this group is going to do is figure you out for you. They're going to tell you that you're a freaking gay man or a gay woman. Go ahead.
The website links to a myriad of gay sites targeting the youth.
Right. And Olivia Arnold said 9 years old. That's right. We see prime example of that with Muhammad. Wasn't his wife 9? Aisha was 9.
Right.
He betrothed her at 6. She was 9 when he had sex with her. Oh, it's crazy. Right. Go ahead.
Comic-Con. including one promoting a book that promotes sex with children.
Ooh, weird.
Glass's founder and former executive director, Teresa DeCrenzo, edited a book that helps youth discover their homosexuality.
Wow, that's crazy. They wrote a book to help kids discover their homosexuality. So
Crazy.
literally, that's the sexual deviancy part right there. You know what I mean? That's the deviancy part. That's the part that just wants to go against society, the part that just wants to go against the Lord, the part that just wants to go against nature. Right. You know what I mean?
Right.
For you to put that book out and to actually push that book on young kids is horrible, right? It's very bad. But yet it's allowed in America because you can do whatever you want here, right? So read on.
Comic-Con. It came as no surprise that the California Department of Social Services found on numerous occasions, beginning at least as early as 1994, adults affiliated with Glass, including staff members, members of the Glass Board of Directors, and volunteers, sexually abused or molested children who were placed with Glass.
Right. So these now Glass, this homosexual lesbian organization who's in charge of the well-being of kids who have nobody else in life. They don't have anybody. That's why they in the social services system. And so they're expecting for, somebody for a change to treat them right, Mataziala, for one grown up in their life, not to effing try to molest them. Not to effing try to, do something horrible to them. And then they go to these people, and then what do these people do? The same thing everybody else in their life has tried to do to them. Right? That's crazy. And then we wonder why America is one of the places with the highest mental illness rates, man. Like mental health is a issue in America.
Right.
Mental illness is a big thing in America. And mental health is actually very important. We'll talk about that another time. Mental health. If you feel like you have any, this is just a sidebar. If you feel like you dealing with anything, man, you having, a lot of stress in your life and you don't know what the hell to do with yourself. You don't know what you're dealing with issues with the kids and everything seems overwhelming and you don't know what to do. Give one of us a call. We care about your mental illness, right? We care about your mental health.
Health concept.
Right. We care about your mental health here. Okay. And, if you need help with anything, you want to get on the phone, you want to talk, call us. We the new crisis prevention line, man.
Damn right.
We them people, man, that's gonna talk you down off the ledge, man. Give you exactly what we're gonna speak the words of the Lord to you. And that's what you're gonna get when you call one of us. All right. So we'll keep going with that.
Comic-Con, sir. The Department of Social Services found that DeCrescenzo, aware of the allegations of molestation, determined staff conduct not to be inappropriate.
So this person, DeCrescenzo, if I said that right, so like it doesn't even matter. This is a piece of garbage, right?
Teresa DeCrescenzo
deemed that the negative behaviors of molestation and child predatory, child predator, is that even a word? Predatoryism, child predatoryism was deemed okay. And nothing was wrong. Yes, it is something wrong with the behaviors of your staff. Your staff is effing the kids. What's wrong with you? Creating more problems. Creating what? More homosexuals. Okay, go. You got it.
Apparently, DeCrescenzo believes molestation is part of the quote unquote coming out process that she glorifies in her writings.
Wow. Coming out is you saying, I'm accepting this gay lifestyle, but it's like you're accepting the gay lifestyle, but you're not really accepting what happened to you. You see what I'm saying? You're not accepting what happened to you, the trauma of this man being on you or this woman being on you. You're not really accepting that, but you're accepting this new lifestyle that came from that. Right? Go ahead.
Sir. One would think that a molestation factory disguised as a group home.
Did they say molestation factory? A molestation factory disguised as a group home. Go ahead.
Would be good reason for the state of California to shut down the whole glass group home operation.
You would have think that would have been enough to shut it down, but did they shut it down? No. Go ahead.
Remarkably, the state of California, allowing glass to continue operation, removed a few individuals and placed glass on probation.
All right. If I can see that real quick, I'm pressed for time. So I want to read this part. They just put the people on probation. They just put glass on probation. They just removed a few people. They gotta have a few that take one for the team. Right. So you was sticking your rod in too many kids. You gotta go. We gotta use you for an example. We love you, but you gotta go. Because we gotta set an example. Right. So you was doing way too much, going overboard. You gotta go too. But the rest of y'all good. This is crazy. It said homosexuals are targeted not just youth group homes, but all groups that work with the youth. God dang. So I was talking about the Boy Scouts. Of course, y'all can get this. If y'all don't know what NAMBLA is the North American Man Boy Love Association. Let me say that again, NAMBLA. And guess who runs NAMBLA? The Little Hats. Need I say more? The pro-pedophile group, North American Man Boy Love Association, which calls itself a homosexual group, wrote a letter to the Boy Scout office urging the Boy Scouts of America to cease its discrimination against openly gay or lesbian persons in the appointment of its scout masters and scouters and its membership. So the Boy Scouts wasn't hiring gay people to be its scoutmasters. And NAMBLA said, look, man, what are you doing? You're discriminating. Using twisted logic, pro-gay academics argue in various social science journals that the molestation of boys is not a gay lifestyle, but that such men are not really homosexuals. Golly. Good. What we say in the school? Good night. Golly. I'm trying. Hey, good night. Good night. Okay, I'm gonna just read a couple of parts. It says most of the public is by now aware, and this is still the guy, this article came out in 2002, written by Steve Baldwin. The title is Child Molestation and the Homosexual Movement. And he also says on page 271, most of the public is by now aware of NAMBLA, a group that openly promotes sex with minor boys and claims that boy lovers respond to the needs of boys they love. So they responded to the needs of the last time I checked, when I was a boy, I needed the love of a woman. Right. That's the only thing that could quench my thirst. You know what I'm saying? Right. Not no man. What they're thinking is deviancy. Right? The way they think about the whole situation, like I'm giving him what he wants. No, it almost takes it off of what I want, and they're making it seem like this is what the kid wants. You see what I'm saying? So I'm just giving the kid what the kid wants. The reality is that NAMBLA not only describes itself as part of you got the The Meek Mills, John? Yeah, because we going straight into the emasculation after this. The reality is that NAMBLA not only describes itself as part of the gay rights coalition, but its literature states that one of its goals is cooperating with the lesbian, gay, and other movements for sexual liberation. So all they care about is their sexual liberation, right? Whatever makes them feel good. If it's a kid's mouth, so be it. If it's a kid's anus, so be it. If it's a kid's vagina, so be it. This is the destruction that he talked about, that destroys the society. You know what I mean? It says NAMBLA even provides financial and other assistance to gay, lesbian, and bisexual youth organizations. Indeed, some NAMBLA chapters meet at mainstream gay centers, such as Philadelphia's gay and lesbian community. Oh, man, I hope that's not Philadelphia up 20 minutes away from me, Philadelphia. I hope that's like Philadelphia in another country or something. God damn. Hold on, what I'm looking for. Hold on 1 second. So, of course, they have a membership status. And their membership status was recognized at the United Nations as a official non-government organization. We ain't even got that privilege yet to be recognized as a non-official government organization. They look at the Israelites, nigga, who the hell are y'all? Y'all just some niggas that don't have an identity. You know what I mean?
Right.
But homosexuals can get up there and be like, you know, almost there. Almost. They damn near creating their own nation, their own race, so to say, Mataziala. They damn near about to create a nation that is going to be accepted at the UN. You know how the UN accepts different nations. The nation of Israel, right. America, Iran, Iraq, Poland, this place, that place, Russia, you know. Now and then, you know, it's going to be another nation called Gay Nation. Right. The Gay Nation has something to say. And then you're going to see RuPaul. You're going to see a man stand up and have everything to say. It says the media failed to report the International Lesbian and Gay Association itself, which hosted workshops on pedophilia and passed resolutions in 1985, 1988, and 1990 to abolish age of consent laws, claiming that same-sex age of consent laws often operate to oppress and not to protect. So now you're oppressing this gay man and not protecting this gay man. You're oppressing him against and suppressing him against his hunger for men or for little boys, and you're not protecting them, you know, against society. You know, he should be allowed to do what he want to do, and you're not protecting him. Hold on, let me get one more part, y'all. Y'all rock it with me.
This is sad.
I had another part that I wanted to read with this, right? You got that Meek Mills in there? I might have to go to Meek Mills because it was one more part that I wanted to read. That was I needed that part too. So give me the scripture that says this is what I want real quick. So we understand that everything that we read was just wrong. Everything that we read was wrong, and it goes against the Bible, right? But the things that go against the Bible doesn't go against Christianity. Let me get Leviticus 20 and 13.
This is the book of Leviticus, chapter 20, in verse 13. If a man also lie with mankind,
if a man lies with another man, go ahead.
as he lieth with a woman, both of them have committed an abomination.
You have committed an abomination, man. A wicked act. A horrible, horrible act. Right? And guess what that shows? Like, if you support homosexuality, you are not pro-black. Again, let me say this again. If you support homosexuality, you are not pro-black. I don't care how you want to cut the cake, how much you think you love black people. Ooh, I'm super black. Got the on and all that goofy nonsense. If you one of them Negroes that say, man, as long as they don't bring it my way and all that, if you support homosexuality, then you are not pro-black, right? Because how can we continue to build the black community if we allow homosexuality to proliferate?
Right.
You cannot build the black community. The black community will only dwindle. The numbers will dwindle. The numbers will be at 1 million one day. And then even though we are, I'm talking about half of us got 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 kids. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But the numbers are still dwindling.
Right.
Why? Why is that the case? That's the case because of because other men in our community or just black people should be having kids. We should be adding to the number, but instead we're decreasing the number because black men want to be accepting the homosexual lifestyle, and black women not only is it an assault on black men, it's an assault on black women because now black women don't even want to have a goddamn dude.
Right.
They don't even want to ride. They want the ride. You know what I mean? They want to push the ride, like literally. Right. This is crazy.
It's backwards, right?
Ass backwards.
Right.
And and when I see when I think about all the nations who push the homosexuality and all that kind of stuff, I see it's us. Mm-hmm. It's us that they're using to push it.
Right. God.
It is literally us that's creating, that's making, like, I tell you, man, when I was in high school, Matasia Allah, it was not like this. It was one gay man and one gay boy in our school, and he used to get his ass whooped because that was how it was in the 90s when I was coming up. He got his behind beat. Now, the whole school, damn near. Now, you'll see a dude claiming that he blood sitting in between the legs of another man. Right. Saying that this is okay. Nigga didn't know. What I'm seeing with my eyes is not okay, but you're telling me it's okay. And you're telling me it's okay because you're throwing up these gang signs. And you're telling me it's okay because you're willing to kill somebody. But you're willing to, but you're showing me, or you're telling me that sitting between another man's legs is not gay. Because you're willing to kill somebody. It is gay. Doesn't matter. You just a a homosexual murderer. Right. That's all it is.
If I may, our oppressor, it seems like our oppressor realizes and understands that we are the salt of the earth. Mm-hmm. And that's why they push us out on the forefront to be the forerunners and be the champions for these different movements so that they can get more of our people to follow after us. You know what I mean? Because we're trendsetters. You know what I mean? That's what we are.
Right. And so if they can get black men to get behind the whole homosexual movement, that's what they're going to do.
Right.
If they can get black women to snap their neck and all that goofy shit, Salagia from my language, y'all. Salagia. They can get the black woman I'll be passionate, Salagia. They can get the black woman to snap her neck and roll her eyes and all of that. That's what they're gonna do for their agenda. And then once they get their agenda passed, once everybody accepts their agenda, then what? They throw the black woman to the side. And they throw the black man to the side. And now you find yourself back on the bottom and you see that your oppressor used you again.
Right.
He used you again for his private agenda, right, to destroy the rest of us. And now you sitting there, the homosexual man,
right,
with nowhere to go in sight, meaning like not necessarily that you don't have nowhere to go, but where's your life gonna go now?
Yeah.
He done used you up and used you and abused you.
Right.
Now what? He didn't use you for his agenda and kicked you to the curb, and now you feel like a piece of garbage.
That look good.
Now you feel like a piece of garbage because he didn't use you. Now you feel, what they say, you feel dirty. Right. Now you get in the shower, take a shower, Mataziyala, and you still feel dirty. I wanted to read this last little part. This on page 274, right? Of the this article, this periodical that I'm reading. And it says, similarly, hold on, I always say that wrong. Similarly, mainstream gay publications make no effort to hide their pro-pedophile views. For example, BLK. BLK is a leading Black homosexual publication, defended pedophilia with an article entitled, listen to what this article was entitled, and this is by Black men. Must men who love boys be guilty of sexual misconduct? Yes, nigga. What's wrong with you, man? And I guarantee you, you know what they subscribe to. I'm 9 times out of 10 sure that they subscribe to Christianity. Crazy. And so they put it in this San Francisco's leading homosexual newspaper, The Sentinel, bluntly editorialized, the love between men and boys is the foundation of homosexuality. So they're saying that the foundation of love between men and boys, of course, is homosexuality, right? Not really men on men, but men on boys. You know, the pedophilia part of it. In 1995, the homosexual magazine Guide stated, we can be proud that the gay movement has been home to the few voices who have had the courage to say out loud that children are naturally sexual. Are children naturally sexual? That's how I know that dude Sigmund Freud, was a molester. Well, that's how I feel, because the different stages of how he teaches you that a kid what they teach you that a kid go through, the names of the stages are weird to me. Like the young, like infant and stuff, when they put stuff in their mouth, he call it the oral phase. And then, you know, when you learn it, when you get in potty trade, the anal phase. Who would call it that? Why wouldn't you just say the potty phase? The nigga just you learning how to use the bathroom phase. What you call it? The oral phase, the anal phase, and when you're about 6, so that means he was watching kids that they go through around 6, the phallic phase, where the phallic stage, where, you know, that's where you explore yourself. How the hell do you know that the kids is exploring their stuff at 6? You in somebody's room when they doing whatever they do, or are you just sitting there watching kids? Oh, goddamn, come on, man, look. So it says, we must listen to our prophets. Ooh. It says, I'm going to read it from the beginning. It says, we can be proud that the gay movement has been home to the few voices who have had the courage to say out loud that children are naturally sexual and they deserve the right to sexual expression with whoever they choose. Not the man. They put it on the kid. It's the kid's choice, not the fact that the man is the one that is engaged in this and he's the one with the sick mind. Right. It's the kid that wants this. It's the same way as how our oppressor used to say, you know, when he would rape the black woman, he would say, she wants it. See, she's promiscuous. Right. She's promiscuous. She wants it. No, you're a piece of garbage. Right. That's what that is. It says, the children are naturally sexual, that they deserve the right to their sexual expression with whoever they may choose. We must listen to our prophets. Instead of fearing being labeled pedophiles, we must proudly proclaim that sex is good, including children's sexuality. We must do it for the children's sake. This is the one that, goddamn, Creflo Dollar, TD Jakes, Joel Osteen. Right. And this was written by a black publication, man. this is what some niggas wrote, man. This is what black people wrote. Why is our morals? Why do we have no more morals? You know what the scriptures say? Are you a homeborn slave? Yeah. The question, the answer to that question is yes. We have become homeborn slaves. We have accepted everything in America. Right? We don't push back against anything that's wrong, and we have accepted everything. So yes, we are homeborn slaves. If I can get, how much time I got? 8:43. I'm gonna get Meek Mills. Y'all gotta watch this Meek Mills video. Look, I'm showing you this because not only are you under attack from, you know, just a whole homosexual standpoint, your masculinity is being tested, tried, and everything, right? Because you're going to see, and I'm going to give you the, you know, the backdrop of the video. You're going to see, I guess recently was just, Holocaust memorial. It was a Holocaust memorial. You know, when Hitler walked the people to go into the things, they called it the Death March. Now they call this march that they do in 2020, 21, 2, 3, all that. They call it the Life March or some nonsense, right? They call it the Life March. This is when so-called Jews go to Auschwitz. They go to Auschwitz and they try to remember all the people that, and remember, I got all the videos with the dude saying, well, in my head, I was there, where the people, they were lying about being in Auschwitz. All the people was lying about being in Auschwitz. And then he's like, well, to me, that was my reality. I was really there. You wasn't there. You're a liar. Anyway, they make this experience to be like it's only their experience when Black people were in these concentration camps as well. So never let these people tell you like that's only their experience. That's their claim to fame in the earth and stuff like that. Because, you know, what's crazy is, why don't anybody talk about the Black people that was in Auschwitz and Bergen-Belsen and all that stuff like that? So your tragic, your traumatic issues trump mine. Right. You know what I mean? We're able to remember your traumatic issues at these places, but not mine. And so the crazy thing is, they got this Negro Meek Mills. That hell, he the only nigga walking, only nigga, and they used him and they played him against Kanye West, and they asked him about Kanye West, and he goes to sell Kanye West out the same way. This is what the mindset it put me in, Mataji Allah, and I know you remember this video. It was a white man that walked up to this fake Israelite group, and the fake Israelite group said, and he said, why do y'all act like that? Why do y'all so mad? He said, well, we're not like that. There are some that's out there that's mad, but we're not like that. So they're trying to take that's Meek Mills. That's Meek Mills. This is what you're about to see. The emasculation of a Black man, right? You're not allowed. You're not allowed to talk about the bad things that happened to you and what everybody did to you, but you are allowed to remember and cry and sulk and be a big old PUSS. You finish it. You finish the rest. You're allowed to be that, and remember everybody else's hardship and plight and traumatic times in history, but you're not allowed to remember yours. And you're going to see this in this video. Go ahead, you got it.
Sir.
And people from all over the world.
People from all over the world come, including rapper Meek Mill, an invited guest of New England Patriots owner Robert Kraft.
It behooves all of us to stop all kinds of hate.
Who started an organization to combat growing anti-Semitism, stand up to Jewish hate. Why would people from all over the world come, including rapper Meek Mill?
Yeah, hold on. Well, I don't see anything planned. So can you play it real quick? They able to hear it? Okay.
You want it bigger on the screen though?
Yeah, you can make it bigger for them. I'm gonna go on mute, and there we go.
An invited guest of New England Patriots owner Robert Kraft,
It behooves all of us to stop all kind of hate.
who started an organization to combat growing anti-Semitism, Stand Up to Jewish Hate. Why was it so important for you to come here?
First of all, I think it's important for me to learn humanity's history. I wanted to come here and see this for myself and learn about it for myself.
Kanye West has said some really anti-Semitic things. Yeah. How do you see your role here in trying to beat that back?
We two different artists. We represent two different things. Even when he was speaking on them things, I wasn't educated to even know right from wrong. But I know a lot of the things he was saying was wrong because it sounded like hate. And now that I had the education, I definitely spread the word to people in my culture about what I seen and what I felt at that concentration camp today.
What did you see and feel?
I seen terror, pain. Something you can't really explain. It was not nice to see.
I'm really happy that they've kept this place
I was thinking
so that
about
people
that.
can see it,
Yeah.
and they know it was not some myth.
Did I ever show you this necklace?
No.
This necklace?
Yeah, we can stop that exactly right there, man. Meek Mill sold the hell out. And I'm gonna tell you why, right? Because so you mean to tell me exactly right there, man. Meek Mill sold the hell out. So you mean to tell me when she asked him the question, he said that he got a chance to see humanity's history. Humanity's history? So Negro, you never been to a slave plantation and felt that?
Right.
We was just in North Carolina, and I went to a slave plantation, and I went in one of them rooms. I went in one of them houses, Natalia. I went in one of them houses, and I said, "Man, I could have did this, man. This house is pretty valid. You know what I'm saying? This house pretty big." She said, "No, it'd have been one family right here, one family right there, one family right here, one family. It'd have been like 30 people in this house." What the hell is like? So, you mean to tell me you went there to the Holocaust Museum and you felt terror and you felt pain, but you never felt that with your own people? When it comes to your own people, you just rap about drugs and whatever else Meek Mill's rap about.
Right.
And money and all that kind of whatever he rapping about. You no pain and no terror. No struggle. What the hell is wrong with these Negroes? Hey, so, and I would have felt this some type of way. I'm out here trying to visit from his standpoint, I'm out here trying to visit this Holocaust museum and whatever and support you people. And the first thing you're going to ask me is about somebody else. He didn't think that was the wiles of the devil.
Right.
This nigga answered the goddamn question. What does Kanye West have to do with me at this Holocaust museum or wherever the hell we doing right now? His issue with so-called Jewish people was months ago, last year. Why are you talking about this now? Right? Because they always want to put division between black people.
Damn right.
And guess what he did? He fell for the bait. He fell for the bait just like that one dude. You remember that Israelite dude they had up on was it Fox or one of them places? They had the Israelite dude.
After that, Washington.
Yeah. And then he was talking about hate. And I'm not like that, but you know, there's some people out there that he's a slave. He's a tool. He's a tool for the oppression, for the oppressor. He don't even know it. He went out, like, you know how you go out, like that nigga went out. Like, God, that's crazy to see. But one thing that I understand that Meek Mills and them don't understand is they don't know no better.
Right.
They don't know no better, man. They following society. They trying to keep up with society, man. They trying to do what's right to keep that money. They don't know no better. Right. So we pray for those brothers. Right. You know, I ain't going to get too far off into that, but we pray for those brothers, man, who lost, and they need to find their goddamn way. Way back. Damn right. Real quick. Real quick, Lord, please. Right. Help these brothers, man. So that, you know, we can, you know, start to get ourselves right. We starting to get ourselves right, but so that we could, you know, do it on a larger scale. Go ahead, Matazio.
I was just going to say that, like that guy you was just talking about that they put on the news, like they dug him up from somewhere, and like everybody was asking, well, who where this guy from? Who is he with? Like nobody knew this guy that they put on TV. Yeah. Like he wasn't nobody notable in the Israelite community. Yeah. So, like they just put people in place just to say what they want. Right. They want them to say. They just put them there for them to say what they want to say, and because of that, now Meek Mills his career is going to thrive and it's going to flourish. Right. No matter what type of destructive music he puts out, whatever he chooses to talk about, I don't really listen to Meek Mills like that. You know, when I'm gonna tell you, when I used to listen to Meek Mills, I used to listen to Meek Mills back in the day, when Meek Mills was like a young boy. Remember when he was a young boy with the braids and the, you know, Meek Mills, you know, cooler than the friend, fresh like it's Easter. Step out the joint, I'm like, I still a beaster. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the Meek Mills I used to, you know what I mean? Like, I used to listen to the old school dude, you know what I mean? You know, ever since he been grown and older, he cut the braids off and all that. He's just been a different person. But, yeah, anyway, we don't hold it against these brothers, man. What we do is we actually pray that these brothers finally, you know, get it. All right. And if I can do anything, you know, with my life for these brothers to get it, that's what I do. So that's why I make sure that I know what's going on, that I stay abreast of what's happening in the world. And I do my research and I read and I bring it to brothers every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday at camp. You know what I mean? Sunday now, we got class on Sunday. Where brothers bringing it to you on Sunday. You work all week. Only day you can get in here to teach is Sunday. So now you can get the truth 7 days a week. 7 days a week, man. You know what I mean? So with that being said, what we have to do is we have to start trusting in the Lord. Everything that the Lord said was good for us is good for us. It's not, we didn't make our agreements to the Lord for some stuff that we can't handle. We made our agreements to the Lord. We made a contract with, you know, things that we can definitely do. You know, it's not hard to not be a homosexual. It's not hard to not support emasculation of black men and stuff like that. Do not support that stuff. Do not support it. Do not support homosexuality. Build up a black man, build up a black woman, you know what I mean? So that they can have the strength to be able to fight against the wiles of the devil. Right. All right. And with that being said, I think that that covers everything, man. We don't have nothing else. It says, Olivia Arnold said, they take a masculine man out of the home and put a feminized man in the home. I know a lot of people who'd rather deal with a gay man around their child than a biological father or that is horrible, a good male. Right. And what we're doing in this school is we raising women who do want masculine men around their child. Right. Because they don't want no damn man, no little boy coming in here with no dress on. Right, they want a little boy coming in here with boots, beards, and braids. Right, that's what I see. All right, and that's what they're gonna get. And with that being said, I'm gonna pass the class over to Precinct Officer Matazi Yala. You need to join, or you good? I got you. Oh. Okay, I got you. I always start going the wrong way at first. So let me see. Am I going the right way? No. Nope, wrong way. Salagi. I do that every time. Salagi. All right. I got you. All right. ICPK security announcements. Rules for new brothers and sisters. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to learn and share themselves with the world. If they need transportation, to teach them what a raven. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, they're to seek counsel from the heads. Tithe, which is a commandment. Numbers 18:21, Malachi 3:8-10, means 10th in Hebrew, ma'ashara. That's 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you. Priest funds, free will offer for the priest. It's not mandatory. Whatever amount you like to donate. Upcoming holy convocations, we have the Feast of First Fruits, which is May the 29th, and it starts before sundown. All right. I believe that's on a Monday, if I'm not mistaken. All right. You can confirm that. I don't have a calendar. But that's May the 29th before sundown. All right. If anyone wants to be a trooper in the school, start wearing all black boots, shirt, pants, headband, and scarf. With that being said, individual Elijah, we'll give him a courtesy salute. Individual Elijah Shabbat, Elijah, Barak, Yahweh, Shem Yahshua, Bakathon, Yazmatah. Sorry, which means the term. We're going to get a sister courtesy salute. Individual Elijah Shabbat, Elijah, Barak,
Yahweh Shemar Alatham Ba'Shem Yahweh
Yazmatah. That is surprising.